If you've got to bake something for supper and it's in the oven, the best thing to make for dessert is a cobbler. And this is the simplest, easiest cobbler. You can use any kind of canned fruit with it. We are going to use today fruit cocktail. Why not? Let's just have a burst of everything. So, typically we use peaches for this. You can use 2 cans of peaches in syrup if you want to. And if you're diabetic, you don't have to use the ones in syrup. But you're going to slice your butter and get it in the oven and let it start melting while you mix up the batter part. So I'm just going to slide this in the oven. Because right now we're making dinner and I've got something in there. And I'm like, while the oven's on, let's make something good. All right, so all you need is a measuring cup. And you're going to use, most people use a cup, and 1 stick of butter. I use 3/4 cup, 3/4 cup, 3/4 cup, and 3/4 stick of butter. Why do I do it that way? Because I think a cup is too much crust and gooiness for the fruit. Now, if you want to increase it to 3 cans, then you could probably do a cup. But because I'm only using 2 cans of fruit, I prefer a little less. And when I say a cup, let me get me a bowl. It's super simple. It's a cup of sugar, a cup of self-rising flour, and a cup of milk. But we're using 3/4 cup. All right? So that's where mine's different than most people's. So we're going to use, that's a 1/2 cup. And this is a 1/4 cup. Make sure I got my 1/4 cup. Now, that's self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising, then look it up on Google to figure out how to make it. Because I just don't know right off the top of my head, especially for 3/4 of a cup. There's the sugar. So that's equal parts sugar, equal parts flour. You're going to mix that up. It's so simple, y'all. Now, if you want to add a little spice to it, you can. We like a little cinnamon, nutmeg in our peach cobbler. I think a little cinnamon would be good in this cobbler. Do you, Chris? Okay. And we're just going to get out some milk. And we're going to put 3/4 cups of milk in here. And by then, our butter should be melted, and we should be able to put this together. And 3/4 of a cup. So this is in our Volume 3 cookbook. It's called the Peach Cobbler Classic. That's the recipe I'm using. I'm just changing up the fruit. So you can change up the fruit as well. Use any kind of fruit you want to. But it should be fruit that's already sweetened, okay? So we're going to add this milk to here. And most people have had this many, many times because most people I know that cook often make this because it's so easy to throw together with supper. Comes together really fast and it's super easy. And you don't have to put the cinnamon in there if you don't want it. But if you like it, throw some in there. Me and Chris even throw a little bit of pecans in ours when we do peaches, and it is really, really good. I'm going to grab some cinnamon. And you can mix this up and get it in the oven, and it'll be done by the time you've eaten supper for sure. Especially if you're baking something else. All right. Now, if you don't follow the directions, this will not rise up to the top and make a pretty crust. I've done it before. Put it in the wrong direction into the pan. So you want to make sure and follow the directions. Okay, we're going to get our pan out of the oven or our little dish. And you should have your butter melted. If it's not melted good, then put it in the microwave. Now, you're going to bake it at 375 until brown and bubbly. Takes about 45 minutes to get it nice and brown, and it's good brown. You mix your flour, your sugar, your milk together. You pour it into the dish. Just like that. And then you just pour your peaches over it. But we're using fruit cocktail. Have you ever had a fruit cocktail cobbler? Let us know if you've ever had one. You could use pineapple, cherries, peaches, whatever you got. Just have fun with it, y'all. Boy, I know one thing. Fruit cocktail's got plenty of fruit in it compared to a can of peaches. I don't know that I could use all this. Y'all, it's got more fruit in it than peaches does. I think it'll be all right, though. We're going to get it in the oven and hope that it don't spill. I want y'all to remember that if you're using the fruit cocktail, it really does have a lot more fruit in it. So you might want to use the cup, and you need to make sure you use a big enough dish, all right? I wasn't prepared for that because I'm always used to doing the peaches, and you know they just don't put as much fruit in the peaches as they used to. But I'm going to tell you, that fruit cocktail was loaded. It was the Aldi brand. So we will see you guys in about 45 minutes with a delicious fruit cocktail cobbler. All right, it is done. It looks delicious. Look at that beautiful cobbler. So easy. And it's going to have a lot of peaches in it too. So we're going to let it sit here and cool down just a little bit before we dip into it, because right now it is quite hot. And it did drip in the oven a little bit, so make sure you use a big enough thing. Okay, let's see how this turned out, y'all. You can see how that rises up and puffs up, gets nice and brown. It does so good, and it's so easy. Makes a delicious crust, a nice gooey filling. So, if you never had fruit cocktail, it's got all kind of stuff in it. It's got pears, peaches, cherries, grapes, and it's really good. So, we're going to give it a try, and I'm going to let you know what I think about this fruit cocktail cobbler. And of course, you can get you out some ice cream. Y'all, that's plum delicious. I think you're going to like it better than the peach cobbler because it's got a lot more fruit in it. That's a lot more bang for your buck because peaches are high. You grab that thing of fruit cocktail, make you up a cobbler, and you cannot go wrong. Let me tell you, at Aldi, it's a good price, and it's packed full of fruit. Boy, is it good. It is buttery, got a little bit of crunch on the top. Mmm. You just can't beat this dessert. Mmm. 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 Boy, I guarantee if you make this, you will not be disappointed. I hope y'all have enjoyed watching Collard Valley Cooks. I bet a lot of your mamas made the classic cobbler with a cup. Now this mama makes it with 3/4 cup, 3/4 cup, 3/4 cup. I hope you try it. We'll see you next time on Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. Bye, y'all. We love ya.